Are there any other votes? Announce the results.
Ayes 100, noes 12.
The bill is passed.
Assembly Number 6983A, Calendar 350, Mr. McDonald, an act to amend the public health law and the insurance law.
On a motion by Mr. McDonald, the Senate bill is before the House. The Senate bill is advanced. Mr. McDonald, you've been asked to explain your vote. Your bill.
So this bill directs the Department of Financial Services and the Department of Health to work using the National Council of Prescription Drug Standards protocols to develop a electronic process for processing of prescriptions for prior authorization.
Ms. Corwin,
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Would the sponsor yield?
will you yield, Mr. McDonald?
Of course.
Mr. McDonald yields.
Thank you, John. This is a new bill, so forgive me. I'm just trying to understand exactly what it does. So you said that it establishes protocols that already exist somewhere else?
Right now, we currently have protocols in place that this House passed in 2012 for Medicaid for a paper form. Fortunately, technology is evolving at a quicker pace, and now there are protocols established to allow for electronic processing of prior authorizations of prescriptions. Currently, because of the high cost of medications, many plans are putting prescription drugs on prior approval. Patients are going to the pharmacies, and the plans are requiring prior authorization. Nowadays, with doctors and pharmacies all on the same platforms, we're able to share the information necessary for prior authorization electronically together, as opposed to making phone calls and having the doctor's office go through a lot of work.
Okay, so you're essentially just addressing putting on electronic form?
We're taking the paper form and making it electronic.
Okay, so now the paper form right now, is it standardized?
It's standardized for Medicaid,
Okay.
but there's not a lot of standardization amongst all the health insurance plans. NCPDP, that's the abbreviation for the council I referenced, is really the one entity. It's a nonprofit entity that everybody plays nice with. They're the ones who establish the templates to allow for the information to be shared. And basically, by able to get the health plans, the provider community, and the pharmacy community on the same page, we can streamline the process to allow for prior authorizations to be considered. That way, patients can get the medication if it's approved in a much simpler manner.
Okay, certainly, and I can see how that could save some costs.
Yep.
A concern that was raised by some of the health plans is that by having a standard authorization form, some of the information that perhaps they would like to collect isn't going to be made available through that form, so that some of the information that is used in the decision would get left out and make it more difficult for that determination.
And in that instance, the plan always has the opportunity to require additional information from the doctor if they need that information. I will tell you based from experience, because I work with this on a daily basis, it's very robust in the amount of information that's required. And as the plans and more providers use this protocol, they'll be able to add more information fields to the process.
Well, thank you very much. That helps me very much. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you, Ms. Corwin. Read the last section.
This act shall take effect immediately.
Clerk will record the vote. Are there any other votes? Announce the results.
Ayes 112, noes 0.
The bill is passed.
Assembly Number 7592A, Calendar 300, Mr. Kaminsky, an act to amend the tax law.
Read the last section.
This act shall take effect immediately.
Clerk will record the vote. Mr. Kaminsky to explain his vote.
Speaker, I rise to explain my vote. After Hurricane Sandy, many residents on the South Shore found themselves in the position of having to rebuild a more resilient home without the funds to do so due to insurance companies that didn't treat them very well and government bureaucracy getting in the way of payments that should have happened sooner. So what they did was go into their retirement accounts. Many had to liquidate their 401ks, something they never expected to do. And then they found that they were taxed on that very income. It went on to their state and federal income taxes. And so, to add insult to injury, they were taxed as if they were rich individuals that very year and got a very hefty tax bill. What this bill will do is allow people to go back into their state income tax and deduct from their gross income the amount that they had to pay previously of the amount that they deducted from their 401k. This is a fair bill that provides necessary tax relief and corrects a wrong done to Sandy victims. Now, we passed this last year. Why are we here again? Because this bill was not taken up by the other house. So if you're on the South Shore of Long Island, if you're on Staten Island, if you're in Rockaway, or anywhere that was affected by Superstorm Sandy, please let your senator know how important this bill is to you and that inaction will not be tolerated. And let's get this bill passed today. I vote in the affirmative, Mr. Speaker. Thank you.
Mr. Kaminsky in the affirmative. No, Mr. Get my hammer. Are there any other votes? Announce the results.
Ayes 112, noes 4.
The bill is passed.
Assembly Number 2170B, Calendar 104, Ms. Schimmel, an act to amend the public health law.
Read the last section.
This act shall take effect on January 1st.
Clerk will record the vote. Ms. Schimmel to explain her vote.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I just want to point out, and I thank everyone for their support of this legislation. In 2008, we passed a law that allowed healthcare providers with prescriptive privileges to provide EPT. All this bill is doing today is expanding the public health law to permit the CDC to recommend other sexually transmitted diseases to fall under the law, and I thank everyone for their support and urge their vote. Thank you.
Ms. Schimmel in the affirmative. Are there any other votes? Announce the results.
Ayes 113, noes 6.
The bill is passed. Mr. Morelli.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for allowing a brief introduction. On behalf of Ms. Fahey, I want to introduce a extraordinary group of women who are at the back of the chamber. They are women from the Center for Women in Government who are visiting tonight and observing the legislative proceedings. These women are fellows in the Center for Women in Government, which is part of Rockefeller College of State University of New York at Albany. And the fellowship is an intensive leadership development program designed to maximize the skills and contributions of women to achieve excellence in public service. These women are incredibly accomplished both academically and professionally, and it's important to note as part of their fellowship they're making their mark in government as they have policy-related placements in various New York State government agencies and statewide not-for-profit organizations and advocacy organizations. As a special part of the fellowship, they are visiting the state capitol tonight to witness firsthand the legislature in action. We're delighted to have them in the chambers. Want to extend not only our greetings, but wish them every success in the future.
Certainly, on behalf of Ms. Fahey, the Speaker, and all the members, we welcome you here to the New York State Assembly. We extend to you the privileges of the floor, commend you on your interest in government. It is so essential for young women like yourselves to look at this field and hope to take our places one day, just not too soon. We hope that this has been a good and an educational experience for you, and you are always welcome back. Thank you.
Assembly Number 1354, Calendar 69, Mr. Zabrowski, an act to amend the general business law.
An explanation is requested, Mr. Zembrowski.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. This bill would allow an individual or the Attorney General to bring an action for damages when a business violates a section of the general business law.
Mr. McKevitt.
Sponsor, yield for a few questions, please.
Will you yield, Mr. Zembrowski?
Absolutely, Mr.
Sponsor yields.
Just to clarify my understanding, this would apply in the situation where a business would go and send an item to a consumer who didn't actually order the item. You know, it is sent unsolicited, and then surprised they go and they give you a bill and want you to pay for something which you didn't order. Is that the situation which this bill applies to?
Yeah, this comes from, the bill's been around for a bit. Unfortunately, it hasn't passed in the other house, but it came from some instances in my district where I think it's sometimes these magazine companies or something, they send you a book in the mail, unsolicited, and say, hey, take a few days, look over this book. If you don't send it back to us, we're going to charge you $30 or something like that. So what we found is that there wasn't really any remedies. Yes, this was against the law, but who's going to go hire a lawyer and sue to get an injunction on a practice like this? So I think the most effective part of the bill is actually allowing the Attorney General, should this practice happen, to seek damages of the actual amount or up to, I think, $500, whichever is greater.
Right, and that's the question I had. I mean, currently the Attorney General has the injunctive remedy, but not an actual damages remedy. So this would then give the Attorney General the actual cost, or $500 per each offense, in order to recover the damage, correct?
Yes. It's, with some of these things, until you have some damages or something like this with these sort of nuisance laws, per se, there's just really no enforcement mechanism.
I guess one question I have is that in addition to currently the Attorney General's injunctive power and gives him the damages power, this also gives the damages power to an individual for a private right of action. And just curious, is that really necessary? Can we just let the Attorney General have the damages on top of the injunction? Is it really necessary to give an individual a private right of action as well?
Well, perhaps it would also deter the conduct. I mean, an individual would have to get the Attorney General's office to come down, and I'm sure our Attorney General would be, in a case like this, it's on the top of the agenda, but if not, the individual would also be able to seek the relief himself or herself.
Thank you very much. No further questions.
Thank you.
Read the last section.
This act shall take effect immediately.
Clerk will record the vote. Are there any other votes? Announce the results.
Ayes 119, noes 0.
The bill is passed. Mr. Morelli?
Yes, Mr. Speaker, do we have any further housekeeping or resolutions?
Mr. Morelli, we have both. On a motion by Ms. Jaffe, page 12, calendar number 75, bill number 1574, amendments are received and adopted. On a motion by Mr. McGee, page 33, calendar number 319, bill number 7844, amendments are received and adopted. On a motion by Mr. Cahill, page 44, calendar number 401, bill number 7885, amendments are received and adopted. We have a number of fine resolutions. We will take them up in one vote. On the resolutions, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Opposed, no. The resolutions are adopted. Mr. Morelli.
Yes, thank you, sir. Would you please recognize Ms. Schimmel for an announcement?
Ms. Schimmel, for the purposes of an announcement.
Yes, Mr. Speaker, there will be a very important majority conference in the Speaker's conference room at 8 p.m. sharp. I repeat, 8 p.m. sharp. Thank you.
8 p.m. conference, Speaker's conference room for the Democratic majority. Mr. Morelli?
Yes, thank you, Mr. Speaker. I appreciate everyone's patience and indulgence. And with that, I now move that the Assembly stand adjourned until 9:30 a.m. Thursday, March 31st, tomorrow being a session day.
The Assembly stands adjourned.